Think up original ideas, but also think about other things they could bring to the table. So data, for example, looking at leveraging a partnership properly, so not just using the obvious channels. So if you're a TV media owner, don't just come to us with an idea of using spots, like come to us thinking about how you can use your website, if you've got any data or audience stuff that we could tap into as well. So just think of all the different ways that you could bring something to the partnership rather than just the obvious.
I think definitely to think about the objectives and the client and the brief that I'm working on, not to pull something off the shelf.
So if you're going to give me a call, make sure you know something about our business, make sure you understand what Mindshare's about and what we do and what we're all about, because if you call me and you don't really know what you're calling me about, I'm going to get really bored really quickly and I'm probably going to finish the call.
I think there's a couple of things. I think it's really important that the agency actually involves the media owner early in the process. So the media owner there needs to be kind of open to a brief that is going to evolve and is going to need to dedicate some time to it, as well as the agency, as well as the client, because it's going to change a lot. It's going to take a lot of persistence and it's going to work through lots of challenges along the road before we bring it to a great partnership.
I think it's very simple. Just get the basics right. So very often we get emails from media owners saying, really like to come and see you, but they don't always know what business we work on, and I find that quite frustrating. So I think just knowing who you're talking to, why you want to talk to them and what you want to talk to them about is probably the best piece of advice I can give.
I think really the important thing is the start point. So too often I think media owners come to us and they're just after the money, and really I think it's worth starting with the question of how we can do something that's going to be of real value to the audience they're serving. So I think the best results come when the brand and the media owner put their commercial ambitions to one side for a moment and think about what's the most powerful and useful or valuable thing they can do for the audience that is going to be engaging with the media publication or channel.
I think it's really about what they can add in terms of value to us, so whether it be data, insight about their audience, what can they add to our brand that will make our campaign a success?
Ooh, the best advice I'd give to a media owner is to think about the 3 Ps. So to think about passion, to think about proactivity, and to think about partnerships. So to deal with each one in turn, I want you to be passionate about my client's business. I want you to have done some research to understand what a client's objectives are and to show a real passion for wanting to work with that client. Proactivity, so I absolutely don't want you to give me something that you've just taken off the shelf. I want you to produce something that's specific for me and has been generated specifically on the brief that we've given you. And partnership, so I'd like you to think about how you'd work in tandem with ourselves, with the client, potentially even with other media owners to think about a great campaign for us.
A key piece of advice for media owners, I think, would be to listen to what we're trying to achieve and what the client's objectives are. More often than not, we can come into a situation where people come with a preconceived view on what is expected or what's needed. So I think the key thing really is to listen hard and to keep an open mind and be honest and structure expectations accordingly. The last thing you want is a situation where it could be promised and it can't be delivered. So I would say listening and honesty and openness.
I think it's great to be the master of your product and to understand your consumer well, but if you don't have a clear view on our clients' businesses and how that would align with yours, then there's never going to be a great synergy or opportunity to collaborate.
A lot of media owners just start with what is it they have to sell and then build an idea around that, but really I think the most original and powerful responses are for media owners when they've actually thought about what is a bespoke response to our brief and then understood how they can deliver that through their platforms.